So you've undergone an audit process. You've understood the audit triggers, some of the audit triggers. You have undergone an audit process. And you've been raised assessment. So they have raised 5 million as an assessment. You feel that you were not heard properly. These people did not judge your books or didn't look at your books properly. And you feel that, that your tax demand possibly could have been $1 million. So what happens at that point? You've been given an, the Tax Act is clear on resolutions. Sorry for that. So you can resolve tax dispute. There is a legal way that you can follow. So you can do an objection. So this is at the point where the assessment is already done on the system. So you can object, and you can object within 60 days. And the moment you object, you get a new team. So possibly at the audit level, you had 2 people or 3 people that were auditing you. At the objection level, you get a whole new department and new people. So if you feel that these people did not listen to you properly at the audit level, you can be heard at the objection level. Of course, they were going to do reference to what was the audit that happened, but you can talk more, you can give out your documentation, and you can give additional information. So at that particular point, if you still, they can still say yes, or they can still say no. So if you still feel aggrieved, you can go to the tribunal. So at that moment when they object to your, they reject your objection, you can go to the tax tribunal. You can go to the ADR process, that is alternative dispute resolution. There is also a process where you can go to the High Court, to the Court of Appeal. It is a process. So what you need to understand is, one, you understand the days from one department to the next. You need to understand the time frame. So if you're supposed to object within 60 days, object within those days. Then you also need to have a tax advisor work with you through this process. It is a cumbersome process, and it is a process possibly can stress you up as an entrepreneur. So have somebody help you through this process. The other thing that you need to understand is that this process can also be costly, because possibly the only thing that's going to really give you is time frame. So it can be cumbersome. So be aware, am I ready to undergo this process? The process can take a year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on the case, depending on the tax obligation, or depending on your argument. So are you ready to just be having this stress with you through the whole process? So it is very important for you. The tax dispute resolution or the tax dispute process is there, and it is important to you. And you can be heard at any particular level. You can be heard, the offices are open, there are new team at every level, so you can be heard, you can give your documentation, and you can be heard by a new team. So what is the role of a tax advisor in this whole process? From the point where you don't have an audit process, or you just have a company, you have your tax obligations with you. So what is the role of a tax advisor? Because for you to scale up your business, you need to have these people with you. And right now, if you want to scale your business up, then KRA will be, we talked about visibility. They're going to see you. So sometimes you may have people that say, I've never encountered KRA, I've never encountered an audit process. Possibly the most probable thing is they are not visible, their business is still at a lower level. But if you have a desire to scale up your business, then you should be able to have this information with you and be able to have a tax advisor work with you the process. So conducting periodic compliance check, very important. Just have periodic, the same way we do internal audit, just have periodic compliance checks within the company. So just make sure that the tax obligations are well. Interpreting changes in tax. So we have so many changes. I'm going to talk about emerging issues. Conducting a tax risk assessment before audit, I've said is important. Just see the risk. KRA is asking me for 10 million. Is it true? Can they come in here in this company and demand 10 million? So just have that check with you and resolve it before you start the audit. Being available during audit, ensure that you have successful closure of an audit with a fair assessment, so they can help you to go through the process and to get a fair assessment. Help you resolve tax dispute if you accept or if you agree to go the resolution way, where you do the objection, you go to tribunal, we go to ADR, and this advisor can walk you through the process. So tax training to enhance operations. Just make sure that the team that you're having in the office, they are proper trained on taxation and they understand the importance of the returns they do. Very important to understand, because that return is what is act as an audit trigger. So tax planning, this is a plan. When do we pay installment taxes? How do we pay these VATs? How do we plan? Even a VAT return should have a plan. So can we buy before the closure of the month so that we don't pay a lot of VAT? Those balancing is very important for you as an entrepreneur, and to have a team that understands the tax very well.